afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. So I just want to show to you about my database. My database will be very helpful, especially if you are about to understand the idea of the disease transmission outbreak COVID-19. Okay, so the main source that usually I will be refer with is the outbreak.my. It is one of the accurate source that I'm going to use it for my prediction model. So what I need to do is just copy the data from here. Selamat datang ke channel saya Kajidataonline. Please consider to subscribe, like and share all our videos. We provide a very comprehensive online courses free of charge. Nonton semua video kami sehingga akhir pembelajaran secara virtual. So today case is around 2,320. And after that, we noticed that the recovery is increased to 320. So a total number of 61 is available. So let me calculate it in the first hand. So just to make it double confirm, yeah, 61 people is already recovered. The number of deaths is increased into 1. It's very unfortunate. And then the infected is actually increased 159. So we can just double check this one minus the previous day, sorry. So we got 159. So the next one will be the total population. So estimated around 32 million, 10 to the power of 6 minus infection minus recovery and also death. Okay, so we got the Malaysian population. And then this is talking about the proportion based on the cases. Okay, so if you look into here, it's just indicate the number of cases available. Okay, how many infected over the total number of Malaysian population. Alright, and then the whole of this calculation is just being copied and pasted. And then same also goes to the alpha, the beta and also the gamma here. So if you see here, the reason and the beta and gamma where we need to decrease the beta means that the transmission rate, and we need to increase the gamma, which is recovery rate or the remove rate. Even though the remove rate also is considered death, but I believe the much more appropriate will be the recovered one. Okay, this is the average for the analytics of it. And if you can see, the reproduction is actually slowing down from 5 until it's less than 1. So to be truth, theoretically speaking, based on the data that currently I use for this particular model, it may suggest that inshallah, by the God's will, by the Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala wills, the outbreak soon be suppressed, hopefully. But all that depends on how well we treated the patients, and also how well the people cooperation with the government in terms of the movement control order. Okay, so I'm just going to update the numbers of tested, and then the number of deaths. Okay, and then this is the very interesting part where usually we try to understand about how many resources that we already done for this test. Okay, so 8469, sum of this data until this data. Okay, so a total of 30,000 tests already used. So I believe this is from last day data. This is the 2 days data, which is 28 March. I'm not really sure because the number is quite high. That's mean we got a lot of pending results also, and then the government resource is also being used to test those patient or possible patient under investigation. However, we wish the luck for our country. Alright, so that is all for this short video, just to give you some insight overview about how we update this Malaysia COVID-19 database, and hopefully it's very useful. The next step beside the SIR model is actually the AR model, the auto-regressive model. This one is not updating yet, but we'll be doing it soon. I'm just want to wait until the completions of the first incubation periods. The first one started from 18 March until 31st March, which is the first MCO, which is called Movement Control Order, or the um, lockdown, the lockdown created by Malaysian government, and then they already extended until 14 April. So whatever it is, we try to our best to study the changes and also the rates, because of this is uh, what was given by the government based on their reports and also the media. Okay, so this is just to update the ARIMA model. So ARIMA stands for Autoregressive Integrated Moving Average. So if you can see here, this is the row 66, and then based on this prediction, we predict that the value will be around 215. This one is being predicted based on the 26 March data, and today is 28 March. So we can see that it is declining over the predicted value that being forecast based on the previous history. And then the lower condition also reported 159, and then the upper is 271. So we can see some sort of coincidence, similar. So we can believe that this forecast is kind of makes sense, or giving us a generative, a good idea. So we shall hope that tomorrow the data or the cases, or the positive COVID-19 cumulative cases will be around 165 or lesser than that, because this is what been projected by our forecast based on the data until March 26, 2020. So I hope that all this worksheet can give you some idea, and then please do comment or give some insight so that we can further discuss. But that I will be updating using this outbreak.my data. Of course, will be the geospatial component, where I need to go into the Malaysia map here, and then go to the data here, and then tabulate accordingly based on two important variables. The first variable will be the we call it as a tot 28 March 20, which is the total number of the cases for today. And then another variable will be add variable also will be the 28 March 20, which is the case for today. Important, especially if you want to analyze the spatial temporal movement of the cases. So I'm going to enter it accordingly. So the first one will be Selangor. So Selangor is 33, recorded 579, followed by cases according to their specific position in the variable list, so that easily for me to make and further analysis in the future. So I'm just going to geospatial analysis for the COVID-19 issues. So please don't forget to subscribe, and please let me know your intention that you want to learn. It's free, of course, because I'm happy to share with you the idea, so that you can further understand if you are the epidemiological student or any medical science related students, especially in mental health field. Last but not least is actually enter the cases by district. So I'm going to use the data from the infosihat.gov.my. I'm using the mirror. I'm going to report the confirmed cases by district. Okay, so I'm going to use the recent data that I believe is updated at 23 March according to the different district. Okay, this is very important, especially if you want to run the spatial autocorrelation to see any significant difference in terms of the spread of the disease by time. So if you can see, my data set here is already done for 21st March, 25th March, and I also make some categories. And now today after this, now actually I'm going to enter a new variables here. So I would like to call it as 28 March 20. So this is the integer, and then I'm going to add it as new one. So we started with Johor. So if you can see here, Johor is actually the southern part of Malaysia. We are going to copy all the data provided by the Ministry of Health, and after that we are going to make some sort of... I finish up already, enter the data for 27 March based on the KKM website. So it's now ready to be used for any data analysis. So this 27 March is actually total data. So I'm going to rename it as TOT so that we know that this is a total data. Okay, TOT 27 March 2020. So this is the changes occur. If you can see here, we got the districts that is exponentially growth, and we got some district that seems nothing to do with the increasing or decreasing of this thing. So using the geoda, as you can see here, in my video previously, we already talked about how you can analyze the data for local Morans I to identify the spatial correlation. Okay, so that's all for my video. Hopefully you learned something about my progress during this movement control order, and please stay at home. See you again. Thank you. Bye bye. Assalamualaikum and good luck, guys.